Good afternoon. It's Good Friday, April 10th, 2020. Normally, we have an outdoor Good Friday service where we reenact the trial, sentencing, crucifixion, and burial of our Lord. Frederick and John Work asked in the old hymn, "Were you there? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when he rose up from the dead? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble." On this Good Friday afternoon, what response does the cross evoke in you? Do you sense the trauma endured by Jesus on the cross? Isaiah said, "But many were amazed when they saw him. His face was so disfigured, he seemed hardly human, and from his appearance, one would scarcely know he was a man. He was wounded on his head from the crown of thorns, each sharp point piercing the scalp, digging into his skull. He was wounded on the face from the beating. He was wounded on his back from the whipping, wounded on his hands and feet from the nail piercing, bleeding, suffering, and helpless physically." Or are you most impressed with the strength of character that Jesus displays? He provided statements such as, "Father, forgive them, they do not know what they're doing," and caring for his mother. And when the thief spoke of his own guilt, pleading, "Jesus, remember me today when you come into your kingdom," Jesus replied, "I assure you, today you will be with me in paradise." But I think the most astonishing statement from Jesus was at the very end. What could not be witnessed by human eyes was the redemption occurring. The Bible describes that every sin we've ever committed was placed on Jesus during that time. The sun darkened in response to the supernatural event going on. When the redemption of humankind was accomplished, Jesus said, "It is finished." Then he bowed his head and released his spirit. Jesus was not a victim on the cross, he was the victor. Jesus had a plan to set you and me free from the penalty for our sin. Jesus would pay that penalty. The world saw death, heaven shouted victory. The world saw suffering, God saw love. The world saw pain, God gave redemption. The disciples saw failure, God saw forgiveness. What do you see? Chris Tomlin sings a song entitled "Whom Shall I Fear?" And part of it says, "I know who goes before me, I know who stands behind. The God of angel armies is always by my side. The one who reigns forever, he is a friend of mine. The God of angel armies is always by my side. My strength is in your name, for you alone can save. You will deliver me, yours is the victory. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? And nothing formed against me shall stand. You hold the whole world in your hands. I'm holding on to your promises. You are faithful. You are faithful." And just as Jesus Christ was faithful to be on that cross for your sin and for mine those many years ago, God is right now ready and faithful to hear the prayer of his people, asking him for strength, for courage, for healing, for compassion. This Good Friday may look dim, but hang on, world, Sunday's coming. God bless you. Good Friday, April 10th, 2020.